Okay, here we have a fairly complex looking complex fraction. They're asking us to simplify it. So with all complex fractions, the first thing we want to do is try to get rid of the complex part, make it just a regular fraction, and then try to reduce. And to do that, you look at all of these denominators, and you find the least common denominator of all the denominators. Well, in this case, the least common denominator is going to be x minus 1 and x plus 1. So we want both of those. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 1 and x plus 1. And that gets distributed, so it gets multiplied by each term on the top and the bottom. So that's why I've left all this white space, because this first step can look pretty messy if you don't leave a lot of room. So I'm writing these as fractions, so I'm putting them over 1 because it just helps a little bit better so you can see what divides out. So I'm repeating this 4 times. Again, leaving a lot of white space. White space is your friend when you're doing these types of problems. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to look at each term on top and bottom and see what crosses out. On the first term, x minus 1 is going to drop out. On the second one, x plus 1. On the denominator, first term, the x minus 1 is going to divide out. And the second term on the bottom, the x plus 1. So now this next step is going to look considerably better. I'm going to try to do this multiplication as I go, but you can write it as a separate step. So in this first one, I'm going to have 5 times the quantity x plus 1. So if I distribute now, it's going to be 5x plus 5. The next one, you got to be a little bit careful with this minus sign here, because you're distributing a negative 1 to each term of what's left. So that's going to end up being a negative x, and negative 1 times negative 1 is plus 1. Again, if you want to write the intermediate step there, it might be a little bit better than trying to distribute it in one step, but do whatever works best for you. On the bottom, I'm distributing an x to x plus 1, so I'm going to have x times x is x squared, and x times 1 is x. And then I've got an addition, so you don't have to worry as much about the addition. We've got 1 times x is x, and 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So now let me just simplify the top and the bottom. Combining like terms on top, I'm going to have 4x plus 6. And on the bottom, I've got x squared plus 2x minus 1. So I'm basically done, except checking to see if it reduces at all. And to do that, you want to factor the top and the bottom. The top I could pull out a 2, so if I pull out a 2, I'm left with, 2x plus 3. And on the bottom, well, it looks like it might factor. I don't think it will, because there's no way to multiply and get a negative 1 and at the same time get a plus 2 in the middle. So the bottom doesn't factor any further. So basically it looks like I'm done here. There's no common factors top and bottom. So now my question is, well, how should I write my answer? This answer is in factored form, because at least I could factor the top. But the top answer is okay too. We know that neither one reduces. WAMAP will accept either one of these, either factored form or multiplied out. And they're asking for the numerator and denominator separately. So if you want to enter it in factored form, you would enter it as 2 times the quantity 2x plus 3. And the bottom, x squared. Remember, you put a little caret for the squared. X squared plus 2x minus 1. There you go.